I'm going to do a lot of damage, and I'm going to get KO'd trying. But nonetheless, we'll be seeing some Zoe a little bit later on as the second position. We are getting into really Assassino versus Truck Stop, Teros versus Diamond Hands once again. If we were talking about the Diamond Hands, I also agree with you. I'm not like the biggest like Diamond Hands believer, but it worked out somewhat for Truck Stop, so carrying it over into this set here.
Yeah, and they have swapped up the order here. They're probably trying something different against specifically this team that defeated them earlier compared to the last team where it was obviously Guichabu leading the way. This time they're back to the the original. Yeah, they're back to the original order of Truck Stop, Guich, and then Seabass.
Yeah, interesting, right? Because we were talking about, like, you put the really good, or your quote-unquote carry player in the first or third position. Red team actually putting Guichabu in the second position to be the one to close out the stocks, but not needed quite yet as Truck Stop takes the first stock here on Assassino. As we see Eat My Onions on the Zol now.
Marky Muna coming in here with the 10 strength Zol. That's going to be an easy punish there as the neutral light came out from Truck Stop just a little bit to the left and actually facing left, which is why it didn't make a connection with Marky Moo. Is he just going to attempt to punish the landing? If Truck Stop tries to come in with the down air, maybe backdash it. There's the side light into the D light. Try to go for the follow-up D light in the same direction, but Marky Moo dodged down into the left, picked up that easy punish with the axe neutral light, of course, dumping on to that 10 strength. Feeling very confident that that in light can KO and you don't have to go for something big and dangerous.
Yeah, as you said, the 10 damage and having
my gosh,
that's a big cannon string and so much damage. Guichabu in a really bad spot, getting unarmed already in red. Goes for the big ground pound, doesn't find it. Guichabu now finding their way back onto the stage, but the down stick comes in and they look to close that one out. A down air instead of a down light, that could be an SD. It is. Oh, wait, what? What? None of that was necessary, those last 4 hits, but nonetheless, still, Truck, I'm Eat My Onions able to close out that stock. Oh my goodness, what just happened?
So there were 2 things. It was really the same thing that Marky Moo did twice, was like whiffing a move in the complete opposite direction as Seabass cleans up that stock. Marky Moo would whiff a move in the opposite direction of Guichabu and then turn around and instantly inlight. I don't know if the whiffed move was specifically a bait, but the fact that he did it twice makes me think that like it might have been an intentional bait because he instantly turned around inlight, covering himself and finding a hit both times as his opponent was coming in to punish. So that was a great option with how quick cannon inlight can pick up.
Yeah. We were talking about unconventional picks. Seabass playing the Arcadia here. Very, very interesting character to select, but nonetheless, Anime able to close out that stock and take a stock lead here with the neutral light. The carry is out for Team JHITS. It's going to be exciting to see. I think Anime having, of course, on the Onyx, really, really strong cannon, but I always like to see Anime's gauntlets because they find really, really exciting swings. Yeah, and as you see, there are 2 really big ones to get some pretty good damage, but Truck Stop getting a big open up on the guitars. Not too much more than that, though, but continues still. Anime tries to swing, I guess punished immediately. Truck Stop bringing it back here.
So we didn't really see Anime playing too much of the range game, specifically with the Gauntlet D-Light, like backdashing the dare approach and then D-Lighting there. He was mostly trying to stay just out of range of it and then find either the side light or the in-light, completely running away from that side signature coming out from Truck Stop, hoping he could pick up the recovery. Not quite. Swapping back to the cannon because he's going to have greater KO potential, which you see him cleaning that stock up. Anime doing a great job so far, giving blue team their lead and fighting back into this one after it was looking a little bit tough, but here's Big Guich.
Yeah, we saw Guichabu in the last set take 5 stocks, and it's going to take 5 stocks if you're going to want to find a win here. Does find a recovery to catch that. That was a ridiculous recovery. What the heck?
Yeah, I feel like Rick Ross here. I think I'm Big Guich, Larry Hoover. Whip and work. Hallelujah. The way he is taking these stocks, Guichabu's on fire today, showing why he's the player who makes it deep into tournament brackets now, showing he is a completely different caliber of player compared to everybody else in this tournament. Almost getting back, did not have a dodge off, a cooldown in time to dodge up and touch that wall. So going a little bit too big for his britches there and ended up falling while he got a little bit greedy.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. I mean, you of course want that big open up on the guitar. We saw what the guitar was able to do last set, and looking to kind of bring that energy here. And fortunately, you fly a little too close to the sun. And that's going to be your stock gone, as now it's left all on Seabass to try to make this work. Assassino with some control here on the Teros and the Axe, able to dodge the ground pound attempt from Seabass, and overall just avoiding the Greatsword Sigs altogether. Tricky Sigs when you're not expecting it, but if you are, pretty telegraphed at times. Assassino on the unarmed now, getting some big unarmed damage. I like that dash back as well, saying, hey, I know you're going to want to cover the weapon pickup. I'm going to wait an extra tempo, dash back, avoid, and then pick up the weapon safely. These little optimizations really show when people are extremely dialed into their game plan.
Seabass finding the ground pound there, was struggling to find a lot of entry with the Greatsword, now swapping back over to the Greatsword, so maybe feeling more confident on the damage build of this weapon rather than the KO secure potential. Found 3 hits so far. Markimu going back in with the Neutralite.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Markimu was able to take a stock in their first life with just 3 neutral lights on the Axe, but looking to do the same on the unarmed. The neutral light, especially on Demon Island with no soft platforms to assist your landing, could be very, very good at covering basic movement or even landings. That Cider is going to cover basic movement on Seabass's side, and I like that bait from Markimu, but the Gravity Cancel Sig comes through, and it doesn't matter still as the down light comes through for Markimu and closes out that game. A new energy for the red team as they look to make a really big comeback, as you're now down in the first set versus Team JHITS.
Yeah, this feels like the first time I've seen The Rock or Sentinel as well in like a very, 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 very long time. And it is a huge surprise that it's coming out from Guichibu, who on Pro Stats has 71 different sets reported with the Lin Fei, the only legend that he has reported in 1v1 tournaments, including community tournaments.
Yeah, I don't know anybody quite as much as like that has a character, maybe like Sandstorm on Mordex, but even Sandstorm playing like some different characters here and there. But yeah, it's weird to see for sure the Sentinel switch from Guichibu. We aren't going to be seeing that for a while, as right now Assassino and Truck contending here in the center stage on Demon Island once again. Assassino with some solid Axe play so far, not getting really big strings, but just holding it down and getting the 1-2 hits, keeping the damage neck and neck so far, the first stock of both of these teams.
Of course, when you have an Artemis player, they're going to be throwing out a lot of signatures, especially that Lance side signature, because it goes forward, gets that initial explosion, and then pops you back, potentially moving you into safety so that you don't get punished.
Ooh, nice down sig there from Artemis. Artemis having very, very, I think, very strong sigs in a lot of like those situations where you just need that extra space covered. I mean, it could have been a down air on the side of Scythe, but you do the same, you do the things you want to do normally on Scythe and Lance, but you just have a sig that does that thing, but it KOs this time. And that down sig is going to show that, as Markimu is able to close this out now, though, and force an even game situation. Seabass switching over to the Caspian, so this should be interesting.
Ooh, Markimu, I thought he was going to make a connection with that recovery. Oh, this could be scary.
Oh,
He's
no.
going to get a jump back after getting hit. He is able to make it over in time. That just shows how difficult it is to knock someone out in yellow, or the early stages of yellow, over on the edge. Even if you find all of these moves. Now Seabass has Markimu in the orange, and that actually KO'd off the top. That is going to be that high strength coming out of Caspian, even with the high ceiling on Demon Island. That's just how high he picked that one up. Completely eliminated that stock. First with the edge guard over on the left side, and then the string after that turned his opponent orange, and then got the stock.
That's a big open up for Seabass now. Looking to rack on this extra credit. You're up a stock as the red team, and looking to potentially take out the first stock of the blue team's anchor in Anime. Anime playing very solidly so far on the gauntlets, looking to just find any open up they can, but Seabass isn't giving anything unarmed with the recovery there. And now what is that? Neutral sig comes through and catches another one. Why not? Oh my goodness.
The neutral signature, grabbing both, making it look like he's Thanos, the way he's snapping and finding that stock. Okay, Assassino, you got to do some work here, brother. And you're on a legend that can do it. You're on the Teros. You have an axe in your hand. Nice timing. Oh my gosh, the reaction time on that spot dodge to get through that weapon toss from Seabass. The sidelight neutral air tries to go for the D-Sig. Seabass was just a little bit too high. There's the in-light, but it's from the wrong side of the stage. Can he get over the weapon? No.
Assassino in a pretty tough spot. A tall ask, because Seabass is playing so elusive. Can't really find anything to stick. Seabass getting a gravity cancel down light into the side light, and the down air gets a side air once again, and the ground pound off the weapon bounce, and Assassino is gone. That's another shock for Seabass, who is now dominating this game. What a crazy edge card.
Dude, that weapon toss to himself, bounce get off the wall. The bounce pass was so cheeky, then getting the hit, and then following it up with an actual weapon toss. Great toss from Markimu there. That one was like laser guided in. We've seen a lot of really great weapon tosses to clean up stocks this game, specifically at that like 45-degree angle over the corner. They've been great. We've also seen some really great high weapon tosses. Now Guichibu, the Rock, showing his double lightsabers here.
Yeah, and it's not quite working out too well for Guichibu. Of course, Guichibu just needs that one big open up. I like that chase dodge up from Markimu to match the high recovery from Guichibu. Can't find a conversion off of it, but really forcing some tricky spots for Guichibu. But yeah, sometimes it slips away so quickly. That was the interesting attempt there, and ooh, that's some big damage.
This is
Nice
starting
catch.
to be really tough for the blue team. Like, well, I was going to say Markimu needed a Hail Mary there to take out the stock from Guichibu, and then one more stock. They're now 3 stocks behind. And Sentinel is definitely not like a glass part of the glass cannon. Definitely has some decent defense. Nice neutral air from Anime. He needs to get away from that wall or touch the ground, dude. He can't even land.
And Guichibu putting on a show. I mean, we saw what Seabass was doing, but Guichibu came in with the exact same energy as the last set and immediately kind of showed that, you know, you can't really count any of us out. We're going to have the potential to go on those long runs here in the Crucible format. Anime now the last warrior for the blue team. So find an open up there. Doesn't get the second sider to extend back to the center of the stage. Truck stop forcing Anime off stage. The side sig comes through, but no connection. And Anime has been swinging, but with no success as Truck stop looked to end the game there with that down sig. So a little bit more work to be done here on Anime stock. But Anime, I mean, not in the greatest of spots to make this happen. Gets a bit of an open up, but not much more than that. The damage is
Stop
just
playing
so much.
reasonably safe here, of course. Okay, are they going to get this stock? Yes, that's going to confirm it there. All right, Anime's trying to make the run here. Seabass is coming back in, though, and he has been electric this game. Has the guitar, so he has access to the side signature. May not even need it. There's the D-Light into the recovery. Of course, unarmed D-Light putting an incredible amount of stun. So let's compare this to their previous set. Now that we're tied 1-1, of course, JHITS won game 1, and then the red team, Akira Toriyama, ended up winning game 2. That's exactly the same pace that they had in their previous set in the winners finals. Game 1 went to JHITS, game 2 went to Akira Toriyama. So let's see if they get a repeat performance here in game 3. Of course, if we're looking at history, it's going to be JHITS.
Yeah, we saw the one game being taken in the winner's side. Could be the same here. We'll see if the red team has anything to say about that, as Truck Stop has been putting on some big damage on the lance and immediately switches over to the scythe.
Oh! He got the little orb like right over the corner. If you get it right on the corner, of course, it'll make a connection with the main platform and just kind of do a little bit of a splash right there. So if you're playing a little bit too high, you'll get caught by it. But he did it close enough to the corner where that little orb that comes down at that very steep angle does go down below the wall and actually made contact there. Great placement from Truck Stop as he takes that first stock. And he's making a case here that he might end up getting 2. The damage is definitely not negligible.
It's been all Truck Stop show so far, getting so much of this extra credit damage. It's not that much, but it really only takes one more open up to just compound that extra credit that the red team's building now. Marky looking to find the KO there. Doesn't confirm it with that neutral light. We see the Zol having so much damage, but fortunately, I think maybe Truck Stop can take 1 or 2 of those at the most more. So you're looking to either close out a big stock with an edge guard or lose yours. Gravity cancel down light going back onto the stage, then finding the Nair to confirm afterwards. Markimu now has some damage to make up here, but on the Zol, it's not a tall task. I mean, it really only takes one big string to get the first one there, already doing so much damage on Seabass.
Okay, nice 3-piece there from Markimu, 4-piece. And he's still avoiding these side signatures over on the edge. Or sorry, these down signatures. Over on the edge, there's the weapon toss. Going in with the side light, tried to do a little bit of that turnaround recovery. But the iframe still came out from Markimu. He's doing a great job so far. He's added up a lot of damage onto Seabass. Now at the weapon disadvantage and over on the edge. Dude, that like slow tossed set of Katars almost made him lose that stock. Like that was a great toss from Seabass.
yeah, it covered so much, and you saw the end sig as well to cover the jump height. So if you rushed at all, you would have been caught.
Nice job getting below so he could hit the unarmed recovery, sending off the top. He wasn't afraid to go down below, which would, like, you know, typically if we were doing like edge guarding 101, you really don't want to be below your the other legend, especially if you're unarmed. That's typically like quote unquote disadvantage state, but because of the context, that was actually the better spot for him to be in. That gave his opponent like the quote unquote safe route to recover above him, but that's exactly what he wanted.
You see Guichibu picked up the hammer there and then immediately switched off into the Katars as we were looking at the Katar versus Gauntlet matchup here for Anime and Guichibu. We are down to both anchors for their teams respectively. You see Anime switching over to the cannon, getting that extra burstiness. Guichibu getting a slight open up, but no big extension. Anime's been very good at respecting Guichibu's strings and just running out and disengaging altogether, not trying to get right back into it, saying, I'm going to let you finish what you're doing over there, and then I'll take my turn back. See, Anime switching through the weapons a lot, but Guichibu has just been on the Katar so far.
When Guichibu is like starting his string attempt for the half pipe, you're seeing Anime like jump and dodge away, keeping him out of that. Because if you just spot dodge it, you're gonna get caught. You can dodge up to get away from it as well, but if you dodge like towards your opponent, you're gonna get caught. If you dodge like left or right directly away from your opponent, you will also get caught by the follow-up. So smart dodges coming out from Anime to get out of that attempted Katar half pipe.
Truck stop here now, looking or having to even up the stock count here. Anime has been very, very evasive so far, just avoiding all these SIGs. Going off with the grab. Oh wow, went for the breakdance there and goes again and finds the connection. Anime was almost able to flip the situation entirely. We're back to even stocks though. Truck stop looking to hold on to this Scythe versus Assassino. He's gonna pick up a hammer here. It's been pretty calm for Assassino so far, sorry. And it was able, just kind of playing the really grounded game, very, very calculated, and finding the whip punishes. We haven't been seeing Assassino come with really any big shifts in momentum, just looking to find some control here.
He's taking like several hits here. Truck stop is starting to find a little bit of momentum here. He gets around from that D signature and finds the almost finds the KO from the backside. Like, Truck Stop is adding up serious damage here. If Assassino is not able to find, like, the right KO move in the right spot, we could see Truck taking this.
Weapon tosses come out from Assassino.
Even that didn't do it.
I thought that was good. I thought that was it too, but I don't know how you live. I've never seen a Terror's Net hit at that damage and not KO. That's a first for me. See if this one can potentially, Assassino avoiding that ground pound from Truck Stop, looking to scoop that wall hold, but Truck just continues to go high. Another Nair gets whiffed, but the unarmed Neutralite is not nearly enough to KO Terros here. Playing with fire there, trying to contest the recovery that definitely would KO. Ooh.
Both of them are playing like, it almost feels like they're fake confident, where they're like, oh, I'm going to attack you. I'm going to go for the recovery 3 different times. But then, like, after that, they're like, oh, I need to get away from you. I don't want to get hit now. So it's like back and forth of, like, the coin comes up heads and you're confident, and then coin comes up tails and you know that you're both, like, last hit red and you're both scared of each other.
It's been
another
neck
one
and neck. There's like no big leads in this game. It really shows like this does feel like a game 3 in my opinion, where both game 1 and 2 went really heavily in each other's favor, and then now it's just so back and forth. We see a little ballerina routine from both players as they're just jumping around and looking to find that big hit. Truck stop on the side there. Or sorry, eat my onions. Nice neutral light to send off stage, switching over the cannon, and the Zol is able to come in with that slide off down sig and create explosions out of thin air and close out that stock.
We're finding a nice lead here for the blue team. Markimu only in the yellow, about 50 damage on this stock. The weapon toss coming out. The second one not making connection. That means Guichibu is going to be without a weapon. And Markimu, he's chasing him. He wants to press this weapon advantage, even if ultimately that means that Guichibu is going to find these Katars shortly after.
Yeah, Guichibu very clearly has been showing that they don't want to be on the hammer nearly as much, and Markimu playing accordingly for it.
He's playing the in-light side-light game. Guichibu, of course, wants to come in with the Katar down air or sometimes the Katar side-light, but every time, dude, Marky's spacing has been too good on it. He's either punished with the in-light or punished with the side-light nair.
The last was that truck stop switching over as well. So yeah, so completely different legends for the red team here.
This is the first Jaehyun that we've seen like during our block, but Seabass did actually play this earlier in the previous set versus Anime, Markimu, and Assassino. Started with the Caspian, swapped to the Jaehyun, then went Teros, then went Kaya. So Seabass has been doing a lot of swaps today.
Guichibu once again on the Plague Knight here and doing a good amount so far in terms of getting this pressure and damage on Assassino. Assassino, I feel like, has been the rock of the blue team, playing very consistently, not ever doing anything like insanely big, but closing out the stocks when called upon them. So it's interesting to see kind of the difference between the two. Like Guichibu is, you're putting them first so they can pull away in a big way, but Assassino is not looking to let them build momentum. Really the rock of the blue team and showing why.
Yeah, Assassino, I don't want to call him like the weakest link. I'll call him like, because that's very negative, and he's doing a great job today. But he's like the least strongest link, where he's still strong. He's just not quite as strong as Markimu and Anime, and like both of them are incredible players. So that's not really a major surprise. Assassino still, of course, playing very well, taking away this first stock from Guichibu, only about halfway, maybe about 120 to 130 damage on this stock. So already starting off this one very strong.
Yeah, I mean, just by how team games work, someone is going to be the quote-unquote weakest player, but it doesn't mean that you're weak. It just means that, of course, the attention is shifted off of you, and sometimes that plays into your favor. As Assassino, taking the first stock off of Guichibu is very, very big, and now forcing Seabass to play from behind.
Nice.
Nice catch there with the J inside Sig on the Great Sword. Now Markimu, we saw them able to do 731 damage in the last game, looking to bring that energy here. But Seabass, also in game number 2, was the MVP, doing so much damage. Exactly in this position, their first stock, and just pulling away after evening up the stock count. So it's going to be big on Markimu to build the momentum, but also not give Seabass the room to run away with it.
Oh, triple nair! I can't believe he even found the first one of those. And he found 2 more after that. There's the ground pound on the middle of the stage, bouncing up. He wasn't able to find any juggle opportunities after that. Seabass going over to the wall. Markimu's done a great job of getting in on this greatsword, which is not easy. It is very difficult to find your way in on the greatsword, especially if they're mostly trying to poke with that sidelight. It has like an 8-frame startup, which I didn't know the number on that, but when you said 8, or when Jaximus earlier today told me 8-frame startup, I was like, yeah, honestly, that makes sense, but it's disgusting.
Wait, what move has an 8-frame startup?
Greatsword sidelight.
It's 8 frames?
It's 8 frames!
What? I knew it was
I know!
But single digits?
It's single digits, man!
Dude, how strong do you have to be to move a greatsword? That doesn't even make any sense. I'm shocked. I didn't know it was 8 frames. That's crazy.
It's crazy. It is unbelievable. But
now everyone else has to live
job
with that knowledge. Yeah. No, that definitely did, bursting in and getting some big damage. That's so important. I mean, apparently an 8-frame poke and get off me button that then leads into big strings. I mean, good on them for sure. Just brings an extra level of how much they were able to do versus that greatsword.
Oh, side aired into the wall, but got caught with the ground pound from truck stop. Then picked up the GCD light into the recovery. A little bit surprised he didn't go for the ground pound, but he probably knew that Anime was in the orange, so it wasn't going to KO. Maybe one of the juggle opportunity. The safer option there, just in case he misinput it. Anime, the wiping the stock away. We're still at a very even game, though. Anime could be taken out here. Guichibu coming in. Is it going to be the Katars first? Ooh, double neutral air. Anime is going to strip the field, giving himself the weapon advantage. Here comes a weapon spawn in. He's going to play around it. Here's the Katars for Guichibu.
Big string weapons come out for both of these players. Anime getting the big juggle. We've been seeing a lot of nairs from the blue team and so much damage off of it. Oh, what an avoidance there. Gets the weapon toss to punish the down stick as well. And the weapon tosses have been so crucial for Anime, getting so much of this big damage on Guichibu. This is still their first stock. Guichibu potentially on the last stock of their tournament run here.
Oh, getting away from that side signature, and he went for the GCD light into the gravity cancel neutral heavy. So great option there from Anime to make sure he would confirm that where a D-Light recovery might not have done it. Dude, what are these back-to-back nairs that Anime is getting like every single time?
It's so interesting because it seems so like easy to avoid and it seems so risk-free for the cannon player, but maybe people just aren't respecting Anime, just saying, I'm just gonna go for it every time. It's been working. Why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just go for those nairs. Let them rip. Seabass on the sword on the Jaehyun, looking to find a clean KO here. You just need to hit a down light, recently buffed move. We'll see if they can, though. Anime on the gauntlets now going to be playing much more bursty and looking to find a whiff punish. Seabass gets a nair on that whiff punish, though, and the recovery comes through to cover the landing. That's going to be Seabass now evening up, or not, sorry, bringing it back down to only a 1 stock deficit. So it's a lot easier now, especially when Anime is off onto their last stock.
Assassino finding his way in. Great job there on that D-Light in the side air. Almost grabbed the down air. That would have been a great read, but Seabass still had iframes on his dodge.
Nice scoop there to catch the dash. Yeah, it was a clean... one of the greatest like anti-cross-up options in this game is that hammer down air. Good stuff from Assassino to cover it. Goes for a down light into down air. I think a side air might have been able to KO, so that's a bit of a drop from Assassino. Seabass has a mountain to climb, though. You're on high damage, and you only have one more teammate in the back, and now it all comes down to this as Truck Stop has to make a 1 stock to 3 comeback, or Team JHITS is going to take the tournament here.
Ooh, Truck Stop grabbed that right out from underneath. Assassino, though, he's not at weapon disadvantage for too long. There's the side light. Tried to go for the cross-up with the D-Light in the other direction. Assassino grabbing the 2-piece. Yet another 2-piece. Side light, nair juggle as well. Grabbing the neutral light as well.
A lot of connections from Assassino. We were talking about it where you might not be the most known of your teammates, but you can make your presence known with all this impact as Assassino looks to close out the tournament, gets a little taunt in as Truck Stop can't find their way back, and that's going to be it. Assassino came through once again and is able to take the tournament for JHITS. Congratulations to Team JHITS for taking the tournament with a 3-1. Oh my goodness.
And that's Assassino, like, he got the chance to shine. They put him out first, and so he had time to run with it. They gave him room to play the game while there wasn't any momentum on the other team, right? Where he's having to come in fresh, ready to go, and the other team is like coming off of an insane string, whether it's Truck Stop, whether it's Seabass, whether it's Guichamu taking a gorillion stocks in the game all by himself. You're not coming into a player with momentum. You're able to stop the momentum from the very beginning. And Assassino did a great job that game. This time it was him taking 3 of the 6 stocks of the other team and doing 527 damage, the lion's share of the damage for his team. So you give him a moment to shine, give him his spotlight. He did a great job.
Yeah, it's great to see everyone really getting involved. And I think Team JHITS overall, if I'm thinking about who we were able to commentate, one of the most evenly split team where everyone kind of got that opportunity to shine, do that lion's share of the damage, or take a majority of the stocks and really show, like, no matter who is up on our team, we have a constant threat that's going to be able to either build some big momentum or stifle it. I think Assassino, I talked about him as the rock of the team, someone that is just going to be able to hold it down. Exactly did that and was able to win the tournament there for their team and close it out with that down light there. So big shout outs to Team JHITS once again. Big shout outs to the production team and everyone making this tournament possible. That's a great tournament win. That was a very exciting block. I am very, very happy to see some interesting crews here. Sparky, how'd you feel about the bracket?
The bracket was great. My big question is, where is Assassino in tournaments? Because he's not power ranked, and overall he's played in 4 different tournaments, one of which he got 193rd, so that's probably a DQ that tournament. Like, where are you in regular tournaments, brother? Like, what I want to see more of you. I want to see more of this Teros that we saw here in the crew battle tournament, of course, hosted by So Icy Boys, SIB. That was a great bracket. I really enjoyed that, and it was interesting to see the 3-1, the winners finals 3-1 of JHITS versus Akira Toriyama, and then yet another in the grand finals, the exact same pace. Game 1 goes to JHITS, game 2 goes to Akira, and then the rest of them are JHITS. Same thing in grand finals. Game 1 is JHITS, game 2 is Akira Toriyama, and then the next 2 go to JHITS as well.
Yeah, they did exactly the same thing to repeat. It's so easy to see, especially coming in from the elimination side, a big shift in the narrative because you have that all that momentum build, but nothing major for Team JHITS as they were able to win the tournament with a 3-1. Once again, as you said, the same way as they did in winners final. It's been a great block. I had a lot of fun, Sparky, as I always do with you. Great time. Thank you all so much for watching. Sparky, anything you want to say before we close out the stream here?
No, take us home, brother.
Yeah, well, thank you all so much. We'll see you guys next time. See you tomorrow for some 1v1 action. See you soon.